Hello again, the humans. So, the conspiracy at the heart of all other conspiracies is simply the fact that evil vampire ghost demons are constantly working to enslave humanity, largely by weakening our spiritual resolve and moral integrity through hypnosis and pervasive subliminal deceptions, which cause people to be violently divided against one another over essentially trivial things, as well as incapable of comprehending the possibility of any sort of spiritual reality, especially one in which evil vampire ghost demons can siphon their spiritual energy if they don't protect their souls with an aura of love and righteousness. All the other major conspiracies sort of spiral out of the fact that these evil demonic fallen angel psychopath ghosts have fabricated this psychological prison of repetition, ignorance, and vanity which we refer to as society, as well as their continued efforts to keep it this way to maintain false power over us. One of the most major ways that they have perpetuated their control over the collective of humanity is by constantly suppressing, in particular, the sacred knowledge which has been left behind by divine avatars who have sought to teach all who are worthy how to activate our own divinity and our own spiritual powers and ability to manifest and control the world in unity with the sacred will of God, which is love. They have accomplished this largely by infiltrating and taking over almost all of the churches wherever they can, and hypnotizing those who seek God with false messages which secretly directly contradict the will of God, such as by imposing sexist policies and banning the testaments of several of Jesus' original disciples and his wife and the fact that he had children, which has been part of a comprehensive and successful strategy to make people find the idea of God distasteful. This is very unfortunate for the well-being and fate of humanity because God truly is love and has gifted mankind with the sovereign ability to communicate and unify with the most profound spiritual forces in all of creation, which could help to guide us to a much more efficient world which actually benefits all good souls rather than the current world in which control is maintained largely by encouraging people to persecute those who have been gifted by God with spiritual powers. Well, guess what, everybody? It reflects rather poorly on your eternal soul and well-being when you are toxic and cruel towards those of us who have spiritual gifts, or even dare suggest such ideas. You are factually incorrect if you deny the possibility of such things. The spiritual dimension is objectively real, as is God, as are demons, as is the conspiracy to prevent you from being able to comprehend all of those things and keep you enslaved. Every one of us has the potential to communicate with the dead and the spiritual dimension. That is a fact. You can practice it and learn it. It is easier to project your thoughts and your ideas to the spiritual dimension who can hear you clearly than it is to receive their feedback, because you have to learn how to maintain a deep meditative state or open certain doors in the dream and able to receive messages back accurately. There is enormous irony when people accuse those who have spiritual encounters of being delusional. Just because you cut yourself off from God and other spirits out of fear doesn't make them go away. Anyways, the principalities and rulers of hell very much desire for you to be in a state of decadence and wickedness, because when you behave in such a way, you forfeit your own defenses against psychological manipulation as well as direct spiritual attacks, allowing them to control and feed off of you like a meat robot popsicle puppet. In any case, everything that I'm talking about here is the most fundamentally important, critical, foundational knowledge of reality that we need to have if we're going to be able to improve on and fix the many problems which are facing society. There is a constant spiritual war between good and evil for the motivation and intent of your heart, and knowing that there are literally very real psychopathic, deceptive, evil vampire ghosts trying to keep you down so that you can't stand up for yourself, knowing what they're capable of and why they're doing what they're doing is very useful when it comes to recognizing their spiritual attacks and when they might possess others around you and when they're using politicians or actors or news outlets to try to force you to think a certain way. Anyways, I just wanted to compile and review these basic essentials for everybody one more time because it is really imperative that more people start to truly understand that this is where reality is at, because most of you are so tragically stuck in the repetition of material acquisition and vitriolic division, and you desperately need to recognize that there are things that need to be done to protect yourself and innocent people from degradation.